from work, I find you dishes there, I wash dishes. It's not about you asking me. It's not about you asking me. I try to help you out. When I come back, I find dishes.
Who asked you to wash dishes? Who asked you to wash dishes?
It's not about you asking me. Nobody
so why
asked
do
you
you think that problem then?
Don't have that energy to go back and forth with someone. I tend to...
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. Yes, we're talking to you guys about Ultimatum South Africa. Look, we're discussing why men like Isaac love mean and rude girls like Khanya. Listen, why are men attracted to women like this? Let me tell you something. First and foremost, I don't know if you've ever been in a position where you wanted somebody, you like somebody, and you love them beyond yourself. You gave them all. You surrendered all. You served them till you bled. Okay, all right. You gave them everything that you were and is and were going to be. Okay, you held on to that person and you gave them the world, right? But then you realize they don't give you the same reciprocity. They're rude. They're mean. They're vindictive. They're nasty. All right. Okay, and they give half-hearted love back, half-hearted care, all right? They serve you half-heartedly, okay, all right? And they don't give you exactly what you gave them. There's a lack of reciprocity in this relationship. You ever felt like that before? Well, today's video, we're going to solve that issue, right? We're going to talk about it. Because in reality, you're not a victim, all right? You are complicit in your own downfall. And Isaac is complicit in the situation, okay? And the reason why he's complicit is because at the very beginning of the show, this woman told everybody in the room, all the men are boring. You saw her, how she was looking at her ex and how some of the things that she had said about her ex. You saw her mean behavior towards some of the men in general when she was spoken in public. You saw that, right? But you allowed this woman to meet your family and meet your boys. And your girl who you've been dating for how long has never met them. And I was wondering why. I was like, were you embarrassed about your girlfriend? Were you embarrassed about who she was? Right? And I was like, what's going on here? Why is it that this woman, after a few minutes, all right, or a few weeks or whatever, gets to meet your boys? Yet your girlfriend who you've had for years doesn't meet them. In fact, she can't even call you. She has to text you. That told me all I need to know about Isaac. That this brother here, there's a lack of emotional connection with self, but there's also a reality here that he tries to put the I am impossible, right? He tries to love the I am impossible, but it's impossible for a reason, because that person is not meant to have your love. And so he incorrectly invests in the wrong person. And the reason why he does that is going to be in this video. All right, so make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We're going to get deep in this video and explain a couple of things. We're going to answer this question: why is it that you are somebody that likes rude, mean girls, or maybe even like rude, mean men, whichever? We're going to break it down for you because they come from the same root, in all honesty. And Khanya and Isaac are actually the same root. They're just different fruits on the tree. All right, let's get it
deeper.
Like I said, Khanya and Isaac are from the same root. They just bear different fruit. Now, of course, a tree doesn't usually bear different fruit, but the reality of the situation is they are the same. Okay. But with Khanya and Isaac, he has chosen a woman who has shown us that she will do whatever she wants for self-preservation. Her actual man is suffering too. Her actual man that she was dating, her ex, what they call it, whatever, was suffering too. And people noticed it, that he had been verbally tiraded. He had been disrespected. They had noticed that in the process. How is it you ain't noticed? Oh, no, you saw it. You decided to ignore it. And people like Isaac ignore these things because they're more invested in the outer shell, the beauty and the aesthetic and the type of look and the type of woman that Candy is, right? And I'll go deeper a little bit later on, but the reality is you try to love the toxicity out of them because it proves and validates who you are. That you're lovable, that you're worthy, you're esteemed, right? And it's about you and your wound that you're own carrying, okay? All right? As to why you're trying to stay with somebody like her, all right? Now, we saw Khanya in these last 4 episodes, and they had sex earlier on. Look, Khanya will use you if she needs to use you for her own agenda, right? She's got her own issues when it comes to wounds. She's got her own issue when it comes to vulnerability. She's got her own issue when it comes to intimacy, right? She gave Isaac the workings in the bedroom, and when we saw them talking earlier on at dinner, and he was asking her how she wanted to be loved, she wants consistency, loyalty, etc., etc., great things that she wants. But when he asked her, does she find him attractive, there was a struggle. I mean, it's a struggle to say it now. Maybe she does find him attractive, but wanted to hold her cards close to her chest, or maybe she doesn't fancy him at all. And in either way, right, there's an inability to express how she really feels and be vulnerable, or she's actually somebody too who doesn't mind using you. Either way doesn't look good, right? Now, for Isaac in this situation, he's going after somebody who I believe will end up becoming unrequited love, because that person will not be able to give him back what he's given out. This guy went and bought flowers, did this, did that. He suddenly became all romantic for her. Why? Because of the type of woman she was. She's mean and she's rude. And a part of that also creates this roller coaster effect, or the slot machine effect, where you are playing the slot machine and you only want to win once. You only need to win once. You want that gamble and that addiction and that cortisol rising, that adrenaline rush that you get from playing a game where you may lose more times than you win, and the hope that you actually win, the gambler's addiction, right? That thrill. And so a lot of times with Isaac, he gonna find himself in a situation, and we know that because Ruth, for him, has been there wanting him, wanting to love him, wanting to care about him. Now, he mentioned to us and told us that with Ruth, unfortunately, she didn't ask about his day. Well, was Khanya asking about your day? Is she cooking for you? Is she, on your birthday, you wanted somebody to bathe you, to feed you food? Was Khanya going to do that for you? Because you would have had a conversation about it. She weren't going to do that for you. So you allowed her good looks to draw you in, and her mean attitude to get you to buy into wanting to be with Khanya. Right? So much so that Khanya, this girl, met your family. That's a problem, Isaac. That's a big, big problem. Okay? Lebo was somebody who would have had the motherly effect, would have supported your dreams, your ambitions, would have bathed you, would have baked a cake on your birthday, would have fed you, would have done all the things that you wanted. You had a connection with Lebo, but you didn't choose her. Now, I think it's because of the attraction piece, but I also think it's because also at the same time, whilst you want that, you're attracted to somebody who you're trying to, your toxicity within yourself is attracted to somebody who you can't get those things from. Because I think you got that from Ruth, and I think you got it from Lebo. How we know that? Because we saw Ruth do the same thing with Nola. She's cooking and cleaning and doing all these things for Nola. Why? Because it's in her to do it. So you had that already with that woman Ruth, but you rejected it. Why? Because Ruth doesn't have the aspect of you of not wanting you. Ruth wants you, and that doesn't validate you. Now let's deal with you personally, right? We'll leave the show aside. Let's deal with you personally. Okay? In this aspect, the reason why you end up dating people that are rude and mean like Khanya is because you're always trying to prove that you're worthy. And one aspect of this is because what you have experienced in the past is that you've not been wanted or you've been rejected. And so what your mind does in one aspect is that it chooses somebody who's likely to reject you. And if I can change them, if I can change their viewpoint, if I could upgrade them, if I could show them a little bit more love, if I could fight for them, right, then that will prove, once they love me back, that I'm worthy of love, that I should be validated, I should be appreciated. You're trying to prove something, and your ego blinds you from seeing them for who they really are, because your ego is what took you there in the first place, to want to prove this point. But you're really wounded and really hurt. Your ego has been a part of your protection piece because you've been hurt as a young individual, right? You will cry victim and choose people who are not your best fit, but you need to be accountable. And you're not accountable oftentimes because in reality, you don't want to face yourself. You ignore red flags because you yourself want a person who has red flags, because it, again, is a part of that validational piece. It's like, if they got red flags and I can overhaul them, then what does that say about me? I'm great, right? But also, because also at the same time, a lot of times we're also dealing with people how we want to be dealt with. You ignore the red flags because you want people to ignore your red flags, because you're a problem too. Right? You don't put up good boundaries because you don't put up good boundaries yourself as well, which is a form of protection, right? And you take on their load as well, because again, you're trying to prove that you're wanted and that you're appreciated, right? And so your choosing of somebody who ends up rejecting you like this is a form of self-sabotage. And it's a confirmation or bias of the lie that you've been told that you're not worthy and you're not lovable. All right? And that people don't care about you. Okay? So I want you to understand that you choosing this kind of person where they're mean and rude, you know, you're hoping for something to be different. Like if they're like, and also it's about your self-esteem. Sometimes you actually believe that you're worth being cussed out and being called all sorts of names and being argued with in a particular way and the person being so mean to you. And because it's a familiar energy. You probably experienced that from young. And so your familiar energy takes you, the familiarity of that energy makes you feel at home because you've not dealt with the wound that you're feeling. That sense of meanness, rudeness, mean-spirited energy that person's bringing to you, you've experienced it before. And so it's familiar where you go to stay. How else would you want to bring her towards your family or your friends and not bring your ex-girlfriend towards your friends for 2 years or whatever it was and not have her on the phone? She needs to be more mean. Ruth cared too much. I get it. You're trying to prove a point. Well, you've proved it now. And now you're in a situation. So you need to, as an individual, need to be very careful about the kind of people that you're choosing. And you need to look at the reasons why you're choosing that person. Going back and re-engineering your thought process and why this happened at that time is important. All right? We have to be scientists of our lives and observe some of the things that are happening to us in order to bring different results. Okay? I'll say it again. A lot of you are trying to love the impossible because you believe you that I am in the possible. A lot of you are trying to love the impossible and you think you're the I am in the possible. And that's why you're in that situation right now, loving someone toxic, mean and rude. Okay, now listen, if this is something that resonates with you, is this something that you're going through, then please, by all means, reach out to us. Listen, we're doing coaching at the moment. You know, and I would love for you guys to sign up, book into my calendar. We're not charging a specific fee. I want you to pay whatever you feel the session's worth. I give gold, so pay gold. You know what I'm saying to you? And whatever your gold is worth, you let me know. But I want to be able to help as many people as I can, so get yourself booked in. I'm pretty much booked up to June. Listen, you guys are killing it. I can't lie to you. But I want you guys to get yourself in there, okay? All right? This is an indication that the work is flourishing and it's been great, and the good Lord has blessed us to be able to dispense this wisdom, and I want to be able to dispense as many people as I can, okay? Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. We'll see you again soon. Please, don't be loving, okay, the impossible because you think you're the I am, okay? All right?